Wednesday night, Braver Than the Rest, coming at you live in the big chairs tonight. I feel more and more like Greg Gutfeld every day. Jared, it's true. This is great.
This is a good setup.
This is fantastic. It's much more comfortable. I feel comforting, kind of like I'm back with my mother.
I'm still in the same old chair.
You are. You're over in the producers.
I'm envious. When Jeremy was like, when you said, "Hey, Briscoe's gonna be coming tonight," I was like, "Dadgummit, I'm gonna have to sit in that chair."
Yeah, we got Dr. Briscoe back with us.
We go live, and this is how it goes down.
You thought it was you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you thought we did this for
I
you.
can cause a scene online.
Well, DC is on fire, or not.
Or not.
Do you think? I think he took it over just so they could get the Washington Redskins back, because the idea of the Washington Commanders doesn't work.
Do you have something playing, or are we?
Yeah, I do. I heard something.
Yeah.
That's my phone.
Oh, yeah. Turn your phone down.
Turn it off.
Said you're watching, listening to the audio.
I'm like a rookie. So yeah, like what changes? And first of all, I love all of the hullabaloo with the mayor, and everybody has seen the video of the chief of police when they're talking about
the chain of command.
Yeah, what chain of command? It's like the DEI.
She said, "What is that?
What is that?
Yeah.
What does that mean? What is that chain of command? Why are you talking about chains? You're gonna put you all back in chains."
Oh gosh.
Here we go. But so the White House touts 103 DC arrests in 1 week.
Yeah.
That's probably, I got to look that up. Is that more than they had over the past 3 months? Like what's the ratio?
Let me pull it up here. Oh goodness gracious. Here I am. I was focused on getting everything right before the show, and now I'm.
Dude, there's a lot going on over there.
Yeah, I know. It's producing this thing. It's a chore here. All right, let me open it up on this window. Thank you all for bearing with me. So, waiting on the internet. Trump White House touts 103 D.C. arrests in 1 week after making D.C. safe executive order. So, law enforcement officials in Washington, D.C. have arrested over 100 people. This comes as President Donald Trump has taken action to crack down on crime in the nation's capital. As of Wednesday morning, law enforcement officials have arrested 103 people, 43 of whom were arrested on Tuesday. So half of them in 1 day. Crazy.
Man.
White House spokeswoman Taylor Rogers told the outlet, President Trump's bold leadership is quickly making our nation's capital safer. In less than 1 week, blah, 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 blah. Tuesday saw 1,450 law enforcement officials sweeping the streets of D.C., including 30 National Guard troops and 750 uniformed D.C. police officers. As comparable data, I don't know. I'll be honest. This article doesn't highlight it. This is from the Post Millennial, so all you guys out there watching right now, go check out the Post Millennial. It's my favorite. It's my go-to.
Yeah, you know what my wife got me on was the pour over, which is a very kind look at the news from a Christian perspective. Mm-hmm. And it's very gentle, and it's not biased at all, because it's Christian, so it tells just the truth. It tells nothing. There's no conservative slant at all, but it's almost like happy news.
Okay,
I love it.
There's Epic Times, is Epic or Epoch?
Yeah, I call it Epoch, but they do have, they have the happy time. And it's important, I think, because we feed the I don't want to say the lower nature. It's not the lower nature. This drive to be informed, and we've talked about this with the study of eschatology and end time stuff, and how prophecy is lining up, and how it just becomes this, it's almost like an insatiable appetite to learn more and to know more about it. But the same goes true with and it's all part of it, politics. It all plays into this, but where it just seems like there's this overwhelming hope and woe is me at the same time. If that makes sense. It's not really the woe is me, it's more hope, but there's definitely a section of it that makes you feel, yeah.
Yeah. So let's see. I'm trying to think of how to segue from what you just said. Don't know if I can.
Evidently, he was tired of hearing you.
No, I wasn't.
I've got a. Here's a good one.
Okay, let me explain to everybody how this has to work. I have to lead Jeremy along with the stories because we can go down some serious rabbit holes, and I'm like, we told the people this is what we're talking about, Jeremy.
Yeah. Next.
But I do want, like, we got to get back to this because everybody's up in arms about DC.
Yeah.
But I will say, over yesterday especially, there were a lot of liberals coming out going, you know what? I'm okay with this.
Mm-hmm. And there is precedent. So I
Absolute
took
precedent
it to the internet, and I was like, okay, what's the precedent for this? Because I'll be honest, I was woefully uninformed on the precedent for it. And it goes way, way back. So by the way, this has happened before. Mm-hmm. Multiple times. Mm-hmm. So it started all the way back in 1794 with the Whiskey Rebellion, the Civil War in 1861, Little Rock desegregation in 1957, the D.C. riots in 1968, George Floyd protests in 2020. On J6, there was everybody's obviously Nancy Pelosi, kind of shut all that down. But either way, National Guard was brought into it. Immigration protests in 2025 and the D.C. crime crackdown in 2025. I have to highlight, does everybody know what the common thread is in most of these instances?
The common thread in most of these instances.
Yeah. Well, it has to do with this right here. So it's from the Democrat Party and the people funding the Democrat Party that are
paid protesting.
Paid protesting.
Right. Paid protesting. And from this article, it's the request for crowd crowd company. The companies that are paying these folks are getting requests like a 400% surge following the DC lockdowns.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So it's now having an economic impact on the people that are paid protesters. They're like, well, wait a second, we can't be out here protesting. Where's my money?
Where's my money?
Yeah. So direct presidential authority is something the government has. And I asked Grok is actually where I went. And I said, Grok, give me the legalities for this, the precedent for all of this. And historically, and give me the pros and the cons. This is a lengthy one, so I'm not going to go through all of it, but direct presidential authority over D.C. Unlike states, D.C. has no governor. The president commands the D.C. National Guard as a militia not subject to PCA, which is Posse Comitatus Act, basically the military taking law enforcement action on American soil.
Oh, yeah, Posse Comitata.
Right.
Yeah, not to be confused with Hakuna Matata.
So anyway, this is something that he is authorized.
So you have to lead him along. Huh?
Yeah, I have to lead him along.
So it's hard to believe.
Posse Comitata.
Oh my goodness. There's also the Home Rule Act, 740. It permits presidential takeover of the D.C. police for 30 days in emergency conditions. Title 32 status, federally funded but not locally controlled, exempts the D.C. National Guard from PCA, we'll just call Posse Comitatus Act that, allowing support for law enforcement without direct enforcement. So they can act much like they did in California, which is being litigated right now. He sent the National Guard into California, and it's at the border. They could be in logistical support, but direct law enforcement is something that's restricted for U.S. military, like active duty personnel. It's under a different title. So active duty folks can go and help at the border, but you can't be federal law enforcement on American soil. You're only to be used in that respect on foreign soil. And so the argument is that by the left, the people that are saying this is unconstitutional, this is wrong, this is authoritarian, whatever, is that he's violating PCA, but he's not. And the even Grok says, given all the evidence, at the moment he's in the right. Like there's not really a solid argument against it. But he's doing in this instance what he does in every instance. He says, let the courts figure it out. And even court precedent in instances of, potential violation of PCA, it errs on executive discretion.
Okay.
And this goes back to the 1800s.
And so all the people that are up in arms about it, first of all, I think here's the fear. He does this in DC. They see the radical change. Obviously, it's already happening, right? People are going to say, well, what's going to keep him from doing this to Chicago, to LA, to whatever? And you know, if I were a resident of those cities and I saw the change, I would be like, please do this to Chicago. Please do this.
There's Chicagoans now. One of the guy that I was on that panel with, he's talked about it, saying that hey, he's a guy that I don't think I've talked to you about this, but he's part of a group that's trying to flip Chicago to be Republican, and they're getting huge traction on social media to try to do it. But he's saying, yeah, bring him in here, like.
And I think there's a lot of people that would want that.
Yeah. And
I think that might be one of the big fears and why they're pushing back in the first place is because if he fixes it, it's going to be it's going to show instantly like rule of law matters. Morality matters. And if you impart the rule of law and keep the rule of law, then things go a lot smoother. And people will see instant results. They'll be able to walk their dogs at night. Nobody's going to have to. I saw a thing yesterday that a guy in Canada was saying that people are kicking in their doors, going in and taking their car keys and stealing their cars. It's like common. And the Canadian government said, then just leave your keys in the car. Make it easy for them.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm not going to do that. And so if you start to uphold the rule of law and things become more peaceable, that's what we call society, right? I mean, and so they're going to see this happening. And then these other cities that are woke and these mayors that are woke are going to be, they're going to be held to the fire a little bit more because their citizens are going to be like, hey, wait a minute. Look at what they did to clean up a city that was worse than Bogota.
Yeah.
I mean, that's insane.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, kudos. I think he's made some good decisions, and this is one of them.
And I feel for the people in these places. I was seeing if I could pull it. I had it actually pulled up all the crime stats, and we're focused on DC. And I think he's worried about DC because that's kind of the gateway to the country. You know, these dignitaries and people are showing up in DC, and their staffers and other folks are having to worry about their safety. They can't walk 3
Gavin
blocks.
Newsom spent how much cleaning up LA for a visit?
Yeah,
right. I mean, it's no different. But he's making it permanent.
But DC apparently still isn't in the top 10 of the most dangerous because I guess I should have confirmed that Grok understood what I was asking because I was saying, hey, pull up the crime stats for the 10 most violent cities in the country. And you know what's number 1 is Memphis. Memphis, Detroit, Little Rock, Birmingham, Cleveland, Ohio, Milwaukee, Kansas, New Orleans, St. Louis, and Houston. And that, you know, a lot of folks are saying that they're just doctoring the crime stats. They, you know, juveniles. This is the argument that people on the conservative side are making is that juveniles are being let out. Juveniles 13, 14 years old are a lot of this crime, a huge amount of this crime, and that they are basically letting them out early. It doesn't really count towards the crime stats in any meaningful way. So it basically lowers the bar, I guess would be the right way to put it. If you go through the analytics, they say that, well, technically they are counting all of those things, but it's like a recidivism thing. So people that commit crimes know that they're like these young folks know that they're going to get arrested. They're going to get let out. They're going to get lenient sentences from juvie court, and they go back out and do it again.
They're going to go right back out and do it again.
And so I feel for the people of it. And that's why, like you were saying before, I think a lot of the DC folks just say, yeah, let's do it. There was a CBS anchor who came out and broke script, said, look, I got attacked the other day, 2 blocks from this building. So yeah, there is a problem here, in DC. And like it
kind of makes you wonder how that concerted effort began of this across the board. Like when you steal something at Walmart, the asset protection people go help you load your car up.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or because used to kind of what you were saying, the rule of law stood for something. And really, the only way to really expose a coward or a thief is to stand up to them. Most of the time, they're going to tuck tail and run if there's resistance. But yet, we've sissified everything.
Yeah.
And on top of that, turned a blind eye to let people in that, I mean, their sole purpose is to rip people off, steal. You know, Jeremy, we're going to mute your microphone if you